Hello everyone, and the year is 2023, and chess is absolutely exploding, but not with one puny stick of dynamite, but with a gigantic nuclear bomb. More people are learning and playing and watching chess than ever before in all of the 2,000 years that it has existed, but in my opinion, there is actually a small problem. Now, a lot of beginners just want to play some games, have some fun, don't really care about improving. That is, of course, totally okay. But there's also another very large group of beginners that do genuinely want to improve. But the problem is, instead of learning what will actually help them improve, they are learning very fun opening traps. Now, yes, I will admit I have made a lot of videos on opening traps, and while they are extremely fun, and after you win a game of one, you will feel incredible, if you want to truly improve, they are not going to help you. They will help you win some games, gain a little bit of rating, but if you really want to improve, you have to go where a lot of beginners neglect their play. That is right, I'm talking about endgames, specifically, as you literally have seen for the past minute or so, king and pawn endgames. So many beginners do not learn this and do not know what to do. However, if you do learn this and you do know what to do, you're going to win a lot more games and be able to draw a lot more, which is your key to genuinely improving in the game of chess. So what I'm going to teach you today is how to win this position with white, draw this position with black, draw this position with black, win this position with white, as well as draw this position with black. So first, let's look at king and pawn and any central pawn. So in this case, I have an E pawn, but if you have a B through a G pawn, so C, D, E, and F, that means you can use this technique. If it is a side pawn in A or H, I will get into that later because it is quite different. So the key to winning this position right here is you need to get your king in front of the pawn. If you play E4 here, this is a draw. I will show you how to draw this position after I show you how to win this, but essentially this is a draw because black can park their king in front of the pawn and we simply cannot make progress. So because that, we have to play king to D2 here or king to F2 to then on the next move play king to E3, get our king in front of the pawn. Now here is something very important. After black goes, let's say king to E6 here, you have to do something called taking the opposition. What this means is you move your king directly in front of theirs. The reason you do this is you control all the squares in front of their king, meaning they cannot move forward at all. They can only move to the side or back. And here, using the opposition, you can do a process called outflanking, which is how you can actually push this king back and back. So let's say they move to the side here. After moving to the side, this square is no longer controlled, so we can move our king. Now black really has nothing better to do than drop back here, and now we can once again take the opposition by moving our king over. Now what you should notice here is that by getting the opposition, we actually get a straight up identical position to the one before, except both of our kings are moved up by one square. And so we continue this process. Let's say they go king over to F7 this time. Because they've moved here, now this square is not controlled anymore. We can run our king. They can move their king back. If they try to move their king up here, then now is a good time to push the pawn. Take this square away. Black is forced to move back and we will get a pretty much same position. So let's say king to E8 here. You once again want to take the opposition. King to E6. Now, once you get this position after the king moves up here, you don't really have a reason to take the opposition, or go for the outflanking maneuver once again, because if we do that, king can just move here. You are still winning, but there's not really a point to actually doing this here. Instead, back in this position, what I would recommend you to do is to start pushing the pawn up. E4 here. Now we can start pushing up. King really has nothing better to do than walk over. You move up once again. King moves, and now is a very good time to do this. Now you can move here, and it is an extremely easy process here. You are controlling all three of these squares, so you can simply push and push and push. Black cannot do anything here. You can push, you can push, and you can promote into a queen or a rook if you want to humiliate your opponent. And from here, winning should be pretty straightforward. So what are the key takeaways from this little lesson here? First thing, you must get your king in front of the pawn. That is like a must. If you do not do that, it is a draw. And after that, remember this outflanking mover using the opposition here. And when the king moves, now the opposite square is not controlled. That is called outflanking. Keep this process in mind, it is very important. So that is how to win this position, but now let's go back to here. So what you'll notice is that if I go here, this is actually the exact same position as before, but white here, let's say you're playing black, goes e4. Now, this is a draw, however, white can still win this if you do not play precisely. So, first thing you want to do is you cannot allow the white king to get in front of the pawn, then they would be winning. So what you want to do here is you want to walk your own king up to go ahead and block the pawn. So let's say king to e2 here, king e6, king e3, king to e5. White will most likely here try to make progress by moving their king over, let's say to f3 here. And now when you want to drop back here, a good rule of thumb is to always drop straight back. Don't go here, don't go here, go straight back. And the reason you do that is that now whenever the king comes up, you can have the option here, which you do want to do, it is the only way to draw, to take the opposition once again. Now, white king cannot move forward here. If we did not do that, if instead, here we went to the other way, let's say d6, then now white can get in front of their pawn, king f5, king e7, king e5, we are losing here. So we have to play king to f6 here, take the opposition, white can give a check, we walk over, they walk over. Now, we have moved up one square, but the good thing here is that white simply will not be able to make progress very soon. So once again, we have to drop back here. So let's say king to e7, you want to go straight back, king will move. Now once again, where do you move? You want to take the opposition, king to d7. They can give another check, you want to go right in front, king e5, and now once again you want to go straight back here, and in this exact position is actually much more dire. Here or here would actually end up losing because let's say king to f8 here, after king to f6, king over, e7, white gets a nasty trick here. We are forced to move our king out, and after king to f7, promotion is unstoppable. So we have to go straight back, and after they run their king, where do you move? Test, test, test. You have to go king to f8, take the opposition. Once again, opposition is extremely important in all king pawn endgames as well as endgames in general. They can give another check, but we simply move our king over, and this is a draw. If they move their king, then we can simply just, capture the pawn. So they're probably going to try and keep it. Their only square to keep it is e6, but it is a stalemate. Our king is not in check, but it simply cannot move anywhere. All the squares are controlled. It is a draw and therefore a stalemate. So let's review what are the most important things that you learned from that process. Now, first off, you have to get your king in front of their pawn if they do not get in front. I kind of just said the same words a lot, but essentially you have to block their pawn with your king. Next, whenever you have to drop back somewhere, you want to go straight back. That is the square you want to go to, because then you can always get opposition, and opposition is key. And those are really the only important ideas and all you really need to know to draw this position. But once again, a lot of beginners have no idea what to do against this. Alright, so that is how to draw and win king and pawn respectively. However, and you can click off the video right now if you want to. However, I have a little something extra for you. This position right here. Now I'm going to look at A and H pawns. A and H pawns are very different because they are most often a draw. The reason for that is we can simply walk our king right in front of the promotion square where white is going to try and push, and our king can simply alternate between these two squares, and white cannot do anything to kick us out. So in this position, let's say king to e8. Once again, you have many ways to draw this, but simply moving directly here is the easiest way. King to e3, you keep on going. You keep on going, you keep on going, and now here, you can literally just pre-move back and forth like 100 times because white literally cannot do anything. They can move their king, they can get the opposition, but here it just doesn't matter. King to g8, h4, king over to h8. King to g8. I mean, not really much to talk about here. They can push the pawn, but just don't stop. They have no reason to stop here. And they can give a check, but it is not scary at all. We can just move in front of the pawn. If they move like, I don't know, somewhere like here, we can just capture. There's not much to say there. And if they do try to keep the pawn, only move here is h6 to keep the pawn, then once again we get a stalemate very similar to the other position. The king and the pawn control all the squares from our king, and we simply cannot move anywhere. Therefore it is a stalemate. Now king and pawn, or A or H pawn, is most often a draw. However, it is not always a draw. So let's say you get this position right here, or sorry, let me go back here. This position right here. Now, what you want to do in this position is not offer a draw and immediately get a draw in this position. Instead, you are actually winning here. Now, why? The reason is that black's only way to draw this is to go ahead and move their king in front of the promotion square of the pawn and eventually get to g8 and h8 and just, move their king back and forth and get to a point where we cannot make any progress. So the only way to win here is to prevent them from getting there. How do you do that? King to e5. Only move, taking away vital squares. Now black's most resilient reply here is to keep trying to get there. King to d7. Only move here, king to f6. You have to once again keep controlling squares from them. They can once again try king to e8. Only move here, king to g7. Now black cannot keep on running and get to this square because our king is controlling there, so they have to move up to e7, and now we can safely push and push and push, and black cannot do anything, and we promote and we win very soon. So the key idea here is to keep the enemy king from getting to the vital squares by blocking them with our own king. Now, this is a winning position after king to e5, but let's say you're black in this position and white, misclicks or whatever happens, and they instead go king to e4 here. Now, you are drawing in this position. Now, why? Keep in mind the key ideas and try to solve it for yourself. The key idea here to draw is to try and run the king in front of the pawn. However, it is not as simple as it normally is. Let's say you go king to d6 here. King to d7 is also drawing, but it will transpose king to d6. And white can try king to f5 and get into the same pattern, but the problem is their king is one square too far right. Now, why is this important? You have to keep trying to get to the square here, so you want to go king to e7, king to g6, king to f8, and now white can go king to h7. Now, normally this would be good because our king is blocked from going to these squares, but now white is blocking their own pawn from promoting, and they have to get out of the way sooner or later, but then that would reveal the squares g8 and h8 to us where we would be drawing. So here you can simply go king to f7. Take the opposition. White cannot really do anything. They can try to push, but you just move back. King to f8. They can try to push. King to f7. h6. If they tried to run back here, let's say king to h6, and try to get their king out of the way, then now we can go to g8, and it is a very simple draw. So h6 here, they can try this, but now king to f8, and we're actually going to stalemate white. Once again, if king g6, then we can simply move our own king in. It is a draw, and if they try king to h8 here, then we can simply move up. Pawn moves, king moves, stalemate. White has no legal moves. We are taking away all the squares from their king, and their pawn cannot push, and because of that, it is a very nice draw. So what is the key idea here? The key idea to draw this position with black is to once again try and get to the square, but when that doesn't work, stalemate and trap the white king in the corner and make it so they simply cannot move out and cannot make any progress without giving up extremely vital squares. Alright, so that was the king and pawn basics. I know that was probably a lot. I would recommend to you to try and rewatch this video a few times to really get the ideas down, or maybe go ahead and find some problems on Lichess or chess.com or wherever you play chess. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!